Tonight on Frontline, the couple accused of stealing billions of dollars from the Philippines.
Mr. Marcos and his wife and their cronies were systematically looting the wealth of the nation.
Ferdinand and Imelda Marcos ruled for 20 years and lived a life that could not have been paid for by the president's salary. Where did their money come from?
I deny that we ever stole government money.
Tonight, in search of the Marcos million.
Good evening. When Ferdinand Marcos fled the Philippines 15 months ago, he left behind a nation nearly bankrupt. One reason, Marcos, his family, his friends and cronies had for 2 decades looted the Philippines of hundreds of millions of dollars. Tonight on Frontline, producers Bill Cran and Tepper follow an incredible paper trail. The documents, the records, which tell the secret story of how Marcos got his millions and where he hid this wealth, estimated to be one of the world's largest private fortunes. Our report is called In Search of the Marcos Millions.
On a mountain in the Philippines, this vast bust commemorates former President Marcos, now accused of stealing millions of dollars from his country.
I deny that we ever stole government money or property, or that we obtained regular commissions on contracts. It's about Marcos, the dictator, stealer of wealth. I become the villain. But I would like to have the opportunity one day to be able to explain the sources of all of these funds, not just in court, but before the Philippine people and the whole world.
The president's salary was never more than $5,600 a year.
Led by the president and the first lady.
His tax returns state that in his 20 years as president, all his earnings and all his assets added to those of his wife Imelda Marcos amounted to less than $350,000.
Marcos and his wife and their cronies were systematically looting the wealth of the nation.
Ferdinand and Marcos.
His wealth was amassed essentially during the martial law years, the dictatorship years from 72 to 86.
Sa paglilingkod sa bayan.
In 1969, the man who was accused of amassing a hidden fortune worth hundreds of millions of dollars set up a trust and told the people he was giving his personal wealth to the nation.
He looked very quiet, very modest, very subtle, very easygoing. His own personality, those who knew him, was just the opposite. He was vicious, he was calculated. Marcos was a very deliberate man. He had said that I never make an important decision when I'm angry or when I'm in love.
They were called the conjugal dictatorship. Their self-obsession led them to record their own lives on videotapes. A treasure trove of these has come to light since their fall. The tapes are evidence of a lifestyle far more lavish than anything they could afford on their legal income.
We needed each other. Imelda needed Ferdinand because he was the president of the country and very powerful, of course. And Ferdinand needed Imelda because she had a following of her own. She's very charismatic.
Imelda was the frivolous, flamboyant, obscene type of wanderer. And Marcos, I think, sometimes deliberately allowed her to be the lightning rod, so to speak. So people will say that Marcos is the one type of woman what we can't control her. He
below the poverty level. The ostentatious wealth of the Marcoses and their unseemly corruption clearly contributed to the national revulsion against them and to the outpouring of support for Mrs. Aquino in the presidential campaign.
As President of the Philippines. That same night, the people stormed the presidential palace. The Marcos family had fled only hours earlier. For a moment, the poor of Manila stood on the threshold of the State Apartments. After the first flush of excitement, they began to notice evidence of gross luxury, lots of caviar and chilled champagne. There were hundreds of jewelry boxes, all empty now. And there were crates of cash, millions of newly minted notes. But that night there was something still more valuable. Papers being hurled out of the windows and tossed from hand to hand. Marcos had left in too much of a hurry to clear his desk. Papers and files were strewn everywhere. In the communications room, 3 shredding machines had jammed. To save this evidence, Aquino aides rushed to the palace. Chito Roque shows what happened that night.
At around 1 o'clock in the morning, I was all alone, so I decided to walk around. I entered the room of Mr.